In this episode, I travel across the archipelago. I'm heading deep into the jungles of central Kalimantan to meet the people taking the real heat in this battle. Indonesia's firefighters.
Apa kamu melihat dari arah barat melihat titik asap?
Kayaknya sementara ini negatif untuk arah barat.
Cek ke arah.
This local fire brigade is in charge of monitoring over 150,000 hectares of forest. That's twice the size of Singapore. I want to find out how they manage to cover such a huge area. Ini perlu parang juga ya?
Iya, kita membuka parang untuk membuka jalur atau membuka trek untuk kita masuk ke
Suku Dayak atau?
Suku Dayak asli.
That's amazing. So back in the days, the Dayak tribe used this knife to cut people's heads. When they're at war, of course. But these days, they're using this knife to cut the shrub to get where they need to be when they're fighting fire. These men are part of a local network of volunteers and paid firefighters who can be called out to check up to 5 hotspots a day in the dry season. Kamu sebelum dari sini kerja di mana?
Sebelum saya kerja di sini, saya kerja di sawitan.
Terus lebih suka di mana jadinya? Dulu di sawit apa setelah di sini PPH?
Sebenarnya sih kalau dipikir-pikir itu berpindah bidang itu agak susah juga sih. Dari sawitan kita sudah terbiasa, kata ibu tadi, membakar lahan, jadi kita menjaga lagi. Nah, jadi di situ
Oh, sentral, monitor kah?
Ini dari tim pemantau asap. Begitu ganti.
Oke, silakan Gio, ada informasi apa ganti?
Di sini kita dari tim pemantau sedang melihat titik asap. Itu untuk keberadaan titik asap berada di pos barat ke arah selatan. Begitu.
This local fire brigade in central Kalimantan has been summoned to check on a hotspot.
Oke, siap merapat.
Forest fires travel at 20 kilometers per hour, so getting to them before they spread is crucial. But the firefighters are walking on the equivalent of an oil tanker. Like many forests in the country, this jungle bed is made up of an organic matter called peat that is extremely flammable. That is why fires in Indonesia are so notorious. Once ignited, they can burn for weeks or months underground. Udah pernah belum ngelihat api atau kebakaran hutan yang beneran?
Itu sangat pernah, karena sini sudah terbiasa lah kalau setiap tahun kalau ada kemarau itu sudah pernah lihat. Kalau sering ketemu teman, saya bicara tentang bahwasanya kebakaran menyebabkan ini kerugiannya.
Pada ngerti nggak?
Ya, kadang ada yang ngerti, tapi kadang ada juga yang tertawa. Kan teman saya di sana itu banyak petani. Terus katanya kan gimana kalau kita ini bertani, buka lahan. Kalau nggak dibakar diapain?
We've reached a very flammable post that marks the hotspot. This is a drill, but it's taken seriously. While other countries have high-tech helicopters with chemical fire retardants, these boys have their trusted generators and a strong will. Kira-kira kalau dengan peralatan yang kita punya saat ini gitu, akan membantu nggak sih untuk memadamkan api?
Sangat membantu, cuman tidak terlalu tidak terlalu sangat juga, sedikit membantu aja sebenarnya itu. Ya karena kan titik mata air ini tidak dekat sama api.
Given their informal nature, many local fire brigades like this one lack the proper training and equipment to fight forest fires effectively.
kerjaan ini kan lumayan berat juga selain fisik, terus keadaan di lapangan kayak gini. Tapi apa sih yang membuat kamu masih mau terus ngerjain ini?
Yang membuat bukan saya sendiri, cuma semua teman. Itu salah satunya adalah alasannya untuk melindungi hutan. Kalau hutan itu terlindung, tidak terbakar, udara tidak tercemar, semua manusia itu hidup enak.
I'm heading to a nearby village to meet a man who thinks the way to protect all of this is to privatize the forests. And he hopes to earn millions doing it. Hi, Pak Darsono.
Welcome, Cheryl. How are you?
Ex-Wall Street banker Darsono Hartono has a novel plan to turn forest conservation into a business.
What will happen to this area 20 years from now? The fact is that you can convert it into palm oil or convert it into pulp and paper. Then there will be emission happen for the next 20 years. If I step in and decided not to do palm oil or pulp and paper, so the next 20 years that supposedly emission happen will not happen, we get credit. That's why it's called carbon credit.
Carbon credit is Darsono's plan to offer penance to polluting companies who will pay him the market rate to keep his forest pristine for their sins.
So they will be buying carbon credit from projects like us, and then they can claim that they're carbon neutral.
But there is just one spoke in his unicorn dream. He has to convince more than 40,000 people that live around the concession he has leased from the government to leave the forest alone. I'm following Darsono to Seragam Jaya, one of 34 villages surrounding his conservation area.
Let's walk in. Jadi, ayo Saiful, gimana? Terakhir kita gimana nih sama Seragam Jaya? Jadi terakhir yang kita ngomong masalah MOU. Ya, kapan kira-kira kita bisa eksekusi itulah?
Darsono wants this village to sign an agreement in which they will receive financial benefits if they promise not to encroach on his land.
Biar langsung saya jawab lah.
Langsung mau jawab. Mau jawab? Silakan.
Jadi sebenarnya untuk Seragam Jaya itu kepingin sekali, Pak. Hanya ada suatu kelompok tertentu yang tidak berkeinginan bahwa Seragam Jaya itu mengadakan MOU.
Ini sebenarnya ada pihak ketiga yang bikin jadi Bapak tidak bisa. Sebenarnya kan gitu.
Land negotiations in Indonesia are all about local power dynamics. And this village is facing resistance from an indigenous tribe who are against Darsono's agreement.
Apalagi yang perlu ditakutin sama pihak ketiga?
Gini Pak Darsono lah, di sini misalkan posisi saya itu memang saya kan sebagai pendatang, tapi keterlibatan orang sini nggak ada, oke lah, boleh, saya ada was-was.
Seragam Jaya is one of the many villages of Transmigrasi, a 70-year-long government program that relocated people from densely inhabited areas to less populated regions in Indonesia. But it fueled violent conflicts between local tribes and transmigrants, which continue to this day.
The reality of this is, these are transmigration population, right? And then, they want to sign an MOU with us.
What makes them resist?
Because somehow they felt that they're being threatened.
Darsono's last chance is to convince the village chief.
Cuman lebih masalah teknis, persiapan segala macam. Kalau umpamanya udah sampai MOU, umpamanya kita perlu dana 100-200 juta untuk kegiatan kayak pendanaan microfinance segala macam itu kita bisa laksanakan loh.
These villagers are tougher negotiators than the wolves of Wall Street.
Kita kan banyak kanan kiri kan, itu kan perlu kita jaga. Di belakangnya kita yang sasaran.
Betul, saya melihat satu, kalau yang penting Seragam Jaya jangan jadi jagoan yang pertama. Ya kan gitu dulu, kalau jadi yang pertama kan pasti jadi sasaran. Ya udah nggak apa-apa kalau maunya terantang dulu, terantang. The fact is we'll be signing an MOU with a village that is, that is not transmigrant, which is terantang. So I suggest to the village head, why don't we just do it together? Ya udah kalau gitu hari Senin ya. Kalau gitu gini. Jadi Pak Ngajo nggak apa-apa diusahakan aja dulu, diusahakan dulu. I want to get this thing done.
How many more villages do you have left to go?
So basically, we have 34 villages. We have signed, so far, we have signed 14. So we have 20 to go.
Land is contentious in the best of times. But to preserve 150,000 hectares of pristine forests with so many vested interests is going to be an uphill battle for Darsono.
How much money do you expect to get from this business per year?
You're talking about up to $40 million worth of revenue. That's a lot of money.
So how long did it take for you to turn it into profit?
I've been doing this for 10 years, and we're still not profitable. The fact is, it's moving much slower than I anticipate. But the reality is we have to value our environment eventually. Because right now, you always take it for granted.
Darsono believes the only way to save Indonesia's forests is to put a price on them. But I wonder at what cost? Land is a complex topic in Indonesia, but it is the only thing that somehow keeps 260 million Indonesians bound together. We move along with her moods, respond to her anger, and embrace her love. At the end, this constantly shaking, shifting, exploding archipelago makes us the resilient and adaptable people that we are.